Okay, this is the recap for April 4th, 2024. So heading into the open, the market was strong overnight, and it was breaking out and moving into a key zone. And based on the overnight, there was still range expansion that occur to the upside above this zone. So that was the only real kind of caveat for this zone. Heading into the open, I was looking to sell this zone, and I sold it ahead of the open actually, and then I was also looking to trade these two areas. And if the market had come down into here, I certainly wanted to buy this. If it had come down from here, and then I had set up after this stop, I had set up a trade around, I think, at the HVN around 9. I considered this move to be tested, this zone to be tested at this point, and so there was a little exhaustion here. What was that, 92 to 08? So there was an exhaustion that didn't get to the zone. So this really just wasn't a trade, but I had considered this tested, and I was waiting at 15, I think, with 2R risk, because I felt this was a high odds trade to take, and 2R risk would have been fine here because the front of zone was really where you wanted to be, and I tried to break the zone up, but this zone really couldn't be broken up, so I ended up with front of the zone 2R risk, and my targets were going to be pretty defensive, with pretty much everything coming off before these swing highs here. And I took this trade in the pre-market and got stopped, and then I didn't have a trade here. There was a little exhaustion, but as I said, it didn't really get to the zone, and this was sort of tested already. So as this started coming down, I thought the defensive long here at 82 with my main target was I think 93. So I was thinking it could balance above this breakout. And that didn't work. This was a big liquidation move on news. After this, I did know that the breakout was failing here, but I felt that this zone could hold, and my logic for that zone holding was this prior support. And I thought, okay, failed breakout. We pushed up. Now we got a little extended. We're coming back. We can hold here and continue to balance in this range ahead of non-farm payroll. And so that's why, even though this breakout failed, it's a smaller breakout. This is a bigger pattern, and I felt like these lows could hold, and so that's why I was long at 64 with my stop at 59, I think, and my targets were all ahead of the prior breakout. So defensively set up trade, and got stopped on that, and then more exhaustion into this zone. At this point, the range extreme was right around, I think, 42. So I took this at the front of the zone, with relatively easy targets, and then finally I took 39, and they all got stopped, obviously. I got caught in a huge liquidation today, I guess the only caveats here are the time that this happened. It was around 2 o'clock, 2:30. I typically will be willing to fade, up until 2:30. I think my last trade was actually at 2:30. So, in terms of those rules, these are afternoon fades, but they're not late last hour fades. So, I still felt like, especially the way I had many of these trades set up, that they were viable, doable trades. So anyway, at this point we have an enormous failure and liquidation that the bigger pattern has the bigger breakout, the bigger failed breakout pattern has now failed, and the market has broken out of this balance and is exhausted into some pretty good support here. Obviously the best support is down here, but at this point the market is very exhausted. It's also very weak. So heading into non-farm payrolls, I've got to put a retracement on here. I think I have it on another chart. I think 38's about there. So 38's here, so the market could easily go back into 36, which would be a short up in this area. These would be fades. And if the market comes down into some of these better areas, there's still going to be fades. The STF bias should be bearish at this point, and the ITF bias, I think, based on this magnitude of this move, I think up in here would have to kind of shift to neutral. I think down in here it would be more neutral bullish, and then down in here you're going to have the bullish bias of the larger time frame come in. And so for tomorrow, I mean, depending on if we just consolidate here, then maybe there's more liquidation to come, but we could go all the way up into 40 and 49, and this would still, I think, be a very bearish market, and that would just be a normal oversold bounce.